Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into fascinating topics related to human health and well-being. In today's video, we're going to explore a concept called blood-nerve reciprocity and its impact on the nervous system. We're going to explore the direct link between blood-nerve reciprocity and Wallerian degeneration. Specifically, we'll uncover how any impairment of blood-nerve reciprocity in the delivery of oxygen and glucose can lead to the development of Wallerian degeneration. But first, let's quickly recap what blood-nerve reciprocity and Wallerian degeneration are. Blood-nerve reciprocity refers to the intricate relationship between blood flow and the nerves. The proper functioning of our nerves relies heavily on the delivery of oxygen and glucose through the bloodstream. However, when there are problems in this delivery process, it can impair blood-nerve reciprocity, setting the stage for Wallerian degeneration. From a functional splanknology perspective, Wallerian degeneration refers to the state or process of nerve degeneration within the body. It's a condition where the nerve fibers deteriorate and decline, leading to various symptoms and signs. Ischemia, hypoxia, and hypoglycemia are important initial contributors to neuropathy, insofar as it produces Wallerian degeneration and nerve injury. Modest degrees of ischemia producing only demyelination do not produce significant neuropathic symptoms. From a medical and functional neurology perspective, Wallerian degeneration occurs after the myelin and axons along the length of a nerve below a traumatic lesion are completely disrupted. Essentially, they hear no, speak no, or see no problems until the worst case is achieved. The need for oxygen and glucose is rarely considered. The treatment is nerve stimulation, which requires oxygen and glucose for the stimulated nerve. For neurology specialists, the degenerative process manifests through a range of sensory, motor, and autonomic nerve fiber dysfunctions, which are typical of peripheral neuropathies, usually due to blockages. However, it's important to note that hypoxia, a condition involving reduced oxygen supply to tissues, is rarely considered a possible contributor. Any disruption or impairment in the delivery of oxygen and glucose to the nerves can have serious consequences. It deprives the nerves of the essential nutrients they need to function optimally and maintain their integrity. As a result, the gradual onset of Wallerian degeneration can occur, leading to a state of decline and deterioration, pain, and discomfort, never reaching full Wallerian degeneration. When the nerves are deprived of oxygen and glucose, their ability to regenerate, repair, and maintain their structure is compromised. The lack of these vital nutrients weakens the nerves and renders them more susceptible to dysfunction and deterioration. It's important to understand that blood-nerve reciprocity plays a critical role in the overall health and functionality of our nervous system. Ensuring a healthy blood supply to the nerves is essential for their proper functioning, and for preventing conditions like Wallerian degeneration creating the symptoms of neuropathy. Elevated endoneurial fluid pressure causes stretching of the perineurium and compression of perineurial vessels, thus producing ischemia of the nerve fiber. Because the peripheral nerve lacks lymphatic innervation, any toxic, metabolic, or traumatic insult leads to an increase in endoneurial fluid pressure, probably secondary to mast cell degranulation and release of vasoactive substances, which increase the permeability of the blood-nerve barrier and thus lead to accumulation of fluid in the endoneurial space. This process peaks in 6 to 7 days and reverts to normal in about 30 days. Normal function occurs in approximately 30 days after the restoration of oxygen and glucose in the blood flow to the nerve. A cascade of events is associated with the re-establishment of blood supply in ischemic tissues, which restores oxygenation but also accelerates tissue necrosis through several mechanisms, such as the production of inflammatory reactive oxygen species. This brings into question the use of hyperbaric chambers or oxygen therapy. Faulty regeneration may also appear in nerves chronically injured by hypoxic, ischemic demyelination or degeneration, in the absence of external trauma. Spontaneous nerve sensations may be induced not only by mechanical stimulation but also by heat, cold, ischemia, chemical irritation, and metabolic stimuli. Sensory symptoms associated with Wallerian degeneration often include a sense of numbness or a Novocaine-like feeling. In most cases, these symptoms first manifest in the farthest reaches of the longest sensory fibers, leading to altered sensations in the hands, fingers, toes, and feet. Interestingly, these signs and symptoms are often misdiagnosed as other popular conditions like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, Lyme disease, or candida overgrowth. The true underlying causes, such as insulin resistance causing ischemic, hypoxic, and hypoglycemic nerve dysfunction, resulting in impaired blood nerve reciprocity, are rarely considered. Insulin resistance causes: low or normal or high blood glucose, high cholesterol, low or normal triglycerides. This causes sludge to build up in the liver, known as non-alcoholic fatty liver. Non-alcoholic fatty liver giving rise to portal hypertension by increasing blood plasma volume, which increases portal vein back pressure, stimulating the growth of new blood vessels to relieve back pressure. The new growth blood vessels shunt blood away from the liver. Enough growth occurs where the new growth blood vessels connect with systemic blood vessels. This allows the unfiltered, unprocessed macronutrients absorbed from small intestine flow into systemic circulation, provoking antigen immune response to food. That occurs shortly after eating. Unfortunately, the brains and nerves are treated as if they are copper wires, needing nothing to keep them alive, much less properly functioning. A review of 100 neuropathy websites disgustingly revealed only 5 with a brief mention of oxygen or glucose, which was given little importance. Blood nerve reciprocity is the secret behind the proper functioning of our nerve cells and 3 brains. You see, these cells have quite the appetite for oxygen and glucose. The more active they are, the more nutrients they require. Just take a look at the brain, one of the most energy-hungry organs in our bodies. It is nourished by a vast network of blood vessels, with arteries carrying a significant portion of our blood supply controlled by the nervus vasomotorus. With each heartbeat, about 20 to 25% of our blood rushes to the brain, delivering the vital oxygen and fuel that nerve cells crave. The incredible thing is that this relationship works both ways. While the arteries diligently supply the nutrients, glucose, and oxygen that nerves need, the nerves reciprocate by providing force, innervation, and even sensation to the arteries themselves. You heard it right. It's a give-and-take dynamic, where both sides benefit. This reciprocal connection between blood vessels and nerves is essential for maintaining their health and proper functioning. It's the secret behind the NEI supersystem and our overall well-being. Imagine a symphony of interconnectedness controlled by the nervus vasomotorus, with blood vessels, nerves, veins, and arteries seamlessly working together from their origin to their destination. It's like a well-orchestrated masterpiece, ensuring that every part of our body receives the nourishment it needs. And there you have it, a closer look at blood nerve reciprocity and Wallerian degeneration, its symptoms, and the fascinating processes that occur within our nervous system during degenerative conditions. We hope you found this video enlightening and informative. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more intriguing content. If you have any questions or suggestions for future topics, feel free to leave them in the comments below.